I'm here to talk to you for a short while about social media, and basically to talk about using social media to spread the word about climate warming, the word about CCL, and the word about what we can do to make a difference. So the three main things I'm going to be covering off today, I'm going to talk a bit about the power of social media. I'm going to talk about how social media can actually help CCL. And also I'm going to be talking about how you can get your social media to work more effectively. So that's me prior COVID. You might notice a little difference. COVID seems to have turned me grey overnight. Social media. So I'm sure you all know what social media is. It's talking about virtual networks, virtual communities, the social side of things, and it's about sharing ideas and information via our computers and our networks. Very easy. Now, this is really the sort of thing that I wanted to share with you, though. I wanted you to understand the power of social media, and the way to understand the power of it is to understand the reach of it. So here I've put together a graph for you, which is showing you the numbers of active social media users per month in Australia. And the vertical axis is talking about millions of users. So you're seeing there that in Australia, our top 6 medium that we're using, that they've got up to and just slightly over 16 million active users every month. And our population's just slightly under 28 million. So think of the reach of social media when you understand the numbers of people who are using it. 50% of people use Facebook every day, and I'm one of them. And the reason that people are using Facebook, of course, is that it's engaging, it's interesting. And my agenda is to try and encourage you to use your Facebook and your social media on a regular basis to help CCL. I thought this was interesting too, a bit frightening actually. Proportion of Australians who get all their news from social media, quarter. Incredible. And the average time that Australians spend on social media per day, 1.75 hours. So I think that those figures start to tell you about the power of social media. So why does CCL use social media? Well, of course, those figures are telling you why, that it gives you enormous reach into the community when you're able to get your message spread. Now, for CCL, social media is important because it helps our brand to be known. And the more that CCL is known as a brand, then the more influence that we're going to have and the more likely that we are going to be able to achieve our goals. If we're recognised as a force, then of course government is more likely to listen to us. So social media can do that for a brand. But also for us, we want more members. The more members we have, the more influence we have. And social media, by being known, like-minded people are able to engage with us and potentially join CCL as well and help us to achieve our goals. Building relationships is also really important with social media. You can build relationships with members, obviously, with potential members, with business, with other climate action groups, and with government. And it also, part of building relationships, what's fantastic is that, of course, it enables you to be in contact with groups and other organisations around the world in live time. So I've been in contact with groups in the US, for example, and communicating live with them, even though we're on different time zones, through social media. And of course, knowledge, the sharing of knowledge And in our case, it's the knowledge about climate change, and it's the knowledge about CCL, and it's the knowledge about CCL's goals that we would want to be sharing on social media. So that's why CCL uses social media, and that's why we want you to use social media too. So to solve climate change, yes, we need as many people to spread the word as possible, and that includes you. So some of the things that you could be doing to help CCL through social media. Now, it surprises me. I think we've got something like 3,500 members of CCL, and yet we don't have that many on our Facebook group. I would love everyone in this presentation to make sure that they are members of the Facebook group. There's also a CCL Twitter group. And I found out recently that there is a YouTube CCL channel as well. So these are all social media that you could potentially join in. Signing and sharing the CCL petition, of course, we've still got a little bit of time left to be able to get that going further. We've got over 1,000 signatures now, but wouldn't it be fabulous to get even another 1,000 before it needs to be presented? By going into Facebook and Twitter and doing things like liking and sharing the posts that you see there, that then encourages, like Facebook and Twitter, give more prominence to our posts, and we get more coverage. So we want to make sure that you engage with what's happening on Facebook and Twitter so that we get higher prominence. We also, of course, not only liking and sharing, we also want you to comment, to be engaged. It's great to share information. And not only that, it is building a community as well. You know, I've got a few friends now through my Facebook group, the CCL Facebook group, because I communicate there, they communicate, we have conversations. And of course, you can also post information. So when you're reading your newspapers or newsletters and you find interesting climate-related information, you can post there and share that information for the rest of us to read about and keep all our knowledge up as well. And another thing that you can do to help is to post from the CCL group to other groups, sharing the knowledge. So there's lots of things that you could potentially be doing. This is an example of what my own local group has done, Goldstein, that they've put up an Instagram page of their own. And you can see that they have been posting interesting information there. And in fact, I think they even developed that lovely graphic over there on the side. And I would just love it if you would go into Instagram and become a follower of CCL Goldstein. I mean, what a fabulous thing that they've done. 48 followers. Well, if everyone today joined in, we could have 148 followers, which would be a great result for them and for you as well. So in the 100 days of action, I've certainly been trying to be very active myself on social media. You too can be doing the same sort of things. What I've been doing in that time, I've certainly been sharing lots of posts. I read The Guardian and I read The Age. So when I've seen interesting climate information there, I've been posting it onto our group. I've also been posting it onto other groups. I've also got a great newsletter, Renew Economy, that I read and get great information from there and share that between the different groups. I got onto my different social groups and advertised the fact that we're having this conference today. You could have all done exactly the same thing. I've gone onto those other groups and promoted our petition on those other groups as well, and got, I think, quite a few people signing as a result of that. So again, things that you could easily do. So it's just a matter of really getting in and being active. Now you can imagine with that many posts going through every day on social media worldwide, we're talking probably billions of posts every day, that it doesn't, your posts don't stay in the public eye very long. And it has to be a popular post for it to stay in the public eye. So if you are going to do posts onto your social media, then do it well. And the things that you need to do if you're going to post include a visual. So any image usually attracts people's eyes, far more likely to read a post with a picture with it. Keep it brief. Don't put a whole lot of commentary in most. In CCL, there's a place for some very long posts because they're educational. I find that some of them are multiple paragraphs, but because it's educational, people will read it. But in general, when you're posting, you don't want more than a couple of sentences about the issue that you want to discuss. And usually you put in a link for more detail. So you put a link into a website or you put a link into a news article. Be active is also important. I've read that it takes 7 readings of a message for that message to sink in to the average person. So if you want to talk about climate action and you want to encourage people to think about a carbon fee, then that's something that you need to regularly put up so that people who are reading it remember your message. Interestingly, the most successful posts are those that promote happiness and satisfaction and are positive posts, that people are much more likely to share those posts across social media if they create those sort of emotions. So where possible, try to aim for those. It's not always easy in the climate story, is it, to be able to find happy stories, but they're there.
Hey Pam, sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I just wanted to let you know we do only have a couple minutes of this session left, just so you do hit all your important points.
Okay, thank you. And of course, posting information about CCL is great, but please don't overly solicit memberships and donations. That's a turn off for people. Okay, I've got a few examples of good posts here. So I've taken one from Twitter and I've taken one from Facebook. The image is important, the colour is important, they're eye-catching. It's got the short intro in both cases. It's got a link for more information in both cases. It's relevant to the group that it's being posted to. And of course, it's generated likes and discussion because of that. I might skip this about the difference between Twitter and Facebook. Both good social media to use. Yeah, I'll skip that. These were some requests from the social media team at CCL around their Twitter account, that if you go into Twitter, if you follow Twitter or even create a new account in Twitter, that there are some things here that you could be doing. For example, you can retweet, which means that all your followers see your tweet and then their followers see it as well. You can pin their petition to your profile, or you can put your profile description to have a link to the petition. And of course, yes, you can talk about CCL Net Zero 2050 and tag CCL. Down the bottom, if you want to follow CCL Australia, that's the actual at CCL_Oz is what you need to do to be able to follow us on Twitter. So where to from here? If you don't have a social media account, I'd love it if you would create a Facebook account or a Twitter account. Please post about the 100 days of action and share it. Please make sure you've signed the petition and shared it. Other groups, to your friends. You know, the reach, the whole power of social media is that it's beyond just your family and your real friends. You can share with your virtual friends as well. And if you'd like to know more about using Facebook, I haven't put one up about Twitter yet, but I've created a video to help you. If you don't know how to use it, then I've done a 101 video, and I believe in the comments, there's a link there in the comments. So if you want to copy that link, otherwise I can send it to you. You can find me on social media, find me on Facebook, and you can ask me there. All right, thank you everyone. Then a couple of minutes over, but hope that's not too bad. There's my email if you want to email me for any further help. I'm happy to help you with social media or anything, but social media primarily today. Okay.